Dustin Long, Landmark Newspapers. Kevin, I want to ask you, in talking about the bumping, Jimmy said that his goal going into 3 was he wanted to go down low, but by bumping him, you gave him too much speed where he didn't feel like he could make the corner. But I think when you were talking earlier, you were saying basically you were just trying to clear out a lane up high. So I guess you both had 2 different agendas, but it worked out for you, maybe not the way you thought, but the way it worked out.
Yeah, you know, I was after one thing, and that was to run the very top of the racetrack, and I was hoping that he thought he was going to be going too fast to run the top of the racetrack and get loose in, and you know, I guess in hindsight he was looking for the bottom or the middle or whatever he was looking for. So I just wanted to roll in as easy as I could and lay back to the throttle, go into the center of the corner, and hopefully be able to leave it down on the exit, and it all played out. It all played out okay.
Lee Spencer, Fox Sports. Did Gil make any changes to the car on that last stop? I mean, adjustments?
No, we didn't make any adjustments all day except for the second pit stop.
Any other questions from the Terrace press box?
Not at this time.
Questions from the Skybox press box?
No questions from Skybox.
I understand there's
It's
one
like
more
the
question.
voice from above.
I understand there's one more question from the Media Center.
Kevin, this is Lewis Bruce, the Media Center, and I'm sitting right next to Jim Utter, so and that makes me all right. But hey, you've been critical of the crowds here before. What do you think about the crowd today?
The crowd looked pretty good. I was, you know, with the weather the way it was this morning, and I thought it was great. And you know, like I said on Friday, I mean, sometimes markets are just seem like that one race is what it's needed for, and I'm pretty proud about the fact that they had a good crowd today. So they did a good job this weekend.
Okay, go ahead, Lewis.
Oh, thanks. How much did yesterday's race play into the fact that you, because you can't speak about the other 6 guys, the top 7 guys didn't come in on the last caution? I was just wondering how much, and maybe for Jill.
I think,
actually, Gil, you're here when you swallow.
Yeah.
How much did yesterday's finish play into any decision about not to pit on that last caution?
Well, it was looking a whole lot like what happened yesterday, but I think one of the major things that made me feel reasonably confident about it was how Tony was able to perform when he stayed out and everybody pitted earlier. After about 2 laps, he posted some of the best laps of the race out there. Clean air and the tires being pumped up, I think there was just a lot of speed there.
Okay, at this time we would like to welcome Gil Martin, crew chief for the number 29, into the driver's meeting room. So we'll open it up for questions here in this room for Gil. Just raise your hand. We'll get a wireless mic to you. Please state your name and affiliation.
I can follow up on that, too. If we had pitted, Richard had killed me.
I said the same thing you said, Gil. I looked at what Tony did. You did good. Great call.
Okay, we'll take questions from the Media Center at this time.
No questions.
Questions from the Terrace press box?
Wolfgang Munzer from Germany, Rennsport Press Agency. I have a question for the crew chief of the winning car. Last week in Bristol also, this was a totally different speedway than here in California. Was the tire problem any issue during the race, or was everything on the safe side concerning the tire, the Goodyear tire?
The tires were perfect this week. It seemed like every set was pretty balanced pretty well. There wasn't any issues as far as having a loose set or a tight set or anything like that. Goodyear did a really good job on this tire that they brought here, so no issues like Bristol. I mean, we overcame what happened at Bristol pretty well, and they brought a good tire here, so there was no problem.
Okay, is that it for the Terrace press box?
Jay Hart, Yahoo Sports again. Hey, Kevin, I don't know did anybody ask you if you could just take us through that last lap and just kind of what was going on in your mind, and you know, especially when you're pushing Jimmy down the backstretch and the patience, I guess, you showed, kind of what was going through your mind at that point.
Yeah, for me, coming to the white, I had a great run off of turn 4, and were able to get right on him. And, you know, rolling into 1, my whole goal was to not give it away. If I could make the pass, fine. If not, just don't overdrive it getting in the corner, and make sure you get the pedal down as soon as you can and roll through the middle and not get into the fence and not do what not screw anything up. And I, rolled through there really good and was able to get back to the throttle on the top and had a good run. And he slid up in front of me, and I knew if I went low that I was not going to be. That was bad for me. The bottom was so. So I just pushed him and hoping that I just needed that one lane to open up top, and it opened up, and we're able to roll through there. You know, my whole theory was to not drive it in again and just get back to the throttle, so it all worked out.
Terrace Press Box, are you good?
We're clear.
Skybox Press, any questions for Gil?
Nothing from Skybox.
Okay. Gentlemen, congratulations. Did you have, I'm sorry. Thank you, Richard.
Alan Bailey from AudioApol.com. Kevin, heading into Martinsville next weekend, are you going to carry, you think that this momentum is going to carry into Martinsville, or do you guys still have to go back to the shop and work on a few things for Martinsville, or where do you stand on your car?
Yeah, well, our short track stuff was really good for Martinsville last year. A lot of that should carry over to this year, so momentum never hurts, and you know, you can't, I always tell people, you got to take the highs and lows, you got to treat them pretty much the same, but the bottom line is winning doesn't, you can't ever shake off the confidence that it gives you. So hopefully we can carry that over into Martinsville.
Bob?
Bob Hawk, Racing Daily. Kevin, you talk about not wanting to make a mistake, but I don't think any of the other guys made a mistake either. Can you talk about what it's like to kind of win a race and by kind of winning it, nobody, kind of compared to the way Kyle won yesterday and just kind of the way you won it?
Well, the 18, you know, he got loose and he made a couple mistakes and took himself, you know, out of contention there at the end, and that's what I didn't want to do. So, and maybe his car was just so loose that he was just, you know, trying to do all he could to stay up there. But, you know, our scenario played out better than Jimmy's did, with our car being able to run as high as it was and carry as much speed as it was, and I just didn't want to be the one to screw it up like I did last year.
David?
Kevin, it's probably too easy to make too much of beating a guy like Jimmy Johnson at a place like this where he's been so good, but does it carry any more personal significance to you given how you did it and who it was against?
Well, it doesn't hurt. I mean, you know, that's for sure. I mean, but, you know, I really feel like I keep going back to last year, but last year taught me a lot about what patience and the things I needed to do to beat a guy that doesn't make mistakes. You know, and in order to do that, you can't make mistakes yourself. So this race 1 year ago is what helped us win today by being patient and not taking yourself out of the race until and having something there at the end until it was time to go. So, but yeah, I mean, you know, those guys are 5-time champions and won a ton of races, and you know, we feel as a team we can race right with them, but you know, so does everybody else. There's a lot of other guys that think the same thing, but nobody's beat them in 5 years. So. We just got to keep chipping away at it.
Any other questions in the driver meeting room? Okay, gentlemen, thank you very much for your time. Congratulations.